Hey bio fans! Anya here from the Biography Wrap, and today, we are going to explore the life of Michael Schumacher through the movie Schumacher, directed by Hanns Bruno Kammertons, Vanessa Nocker, and Michael Wech. Michael Schumacher is a former motorsports racing driver who has competed in world-famous races such as Formula 1, Ferrari, Benetton, and Mercedes. He is a German who holds the record for the fastest laps until today, and is the proud owner of 7 World Drivers' Championship titles. The story begins in 1991, with Michael's entry in his very first Formula 1 World Championship. He gets a chance to enter this tournament with just sheer luck, as one of the drivers for Team Eddie Jordan has left in mid-season, and when Michael approaches the team with a brilliant record of racing in small tournaments, the officials agree to hire him. Seeing his age, people pass their opinions, such as he is too young to drive in such a tournament, but he shows everyone what he is actually made of by coming in 7th position in just his first race, which is a big thing for a newcomer. After this season, Team Benetton contacts him to drive in their car, and he happily accepts the offer as he is happy to get any chance at the Formula 1 Championship. In 1992, he wins his first Grand Prix, making him a sensation thereafter instantly. Michael says that when he was just 4 years old, his father, being a creative mechanic, made a Go Kart for him by fitting a moped's engine, and the moment he drove it, he instantly fell in love with the feeling of racing through the course. Although his family was not financially stable, they supported him to pursue his passion for racing, so he started racing at a very early age. He used to win races with the worst equipment on the track and felt very proud of it. Despite such a young age, he became filled with professionalism due to his racing skills and techniques. Due to his financial situation, he knew he wouldn't be going far in his racing career, but fate had other plans, and so out of nowhere, Willi Webber offers him to drive with his team along with a handsome salary, which he gladly accepts and begins his racing career. He accidentally hits Senna Ayrton's car during a 1992 race, and it leads to a heated argument. In the following Formula 1 championship, he defeats Senna like a child, and he then becomes eager to regain his position. As he attempts to overtake Michael in the next race, he crashes violently into the sidewalls of the track, causing severe injuries. He is taken to the hospital, and the race restarts. Michael wins the race, but still, everyone has a frowning look on their faces, and when he reaches his team pit, he gets the news that Senna is dead. This event terribly affects him emotionally, as he develops this paranoia of being dead the next moment on the track like Senna. After his death, Damon Hill replaces Senna, and proves to be competitive against Michael the same way Senna was. In the final race for the Formula 1 World Championship of '94, both Michael and Damon start very aggressively, but, in the end, when Michael is about to win the race, Damon crashes his car against Michael's, disqualifying both of them from the race. Yet, Michael has more points than any other driver in this championship, so he is declared the winner, and receives his first World Championship title. Later on, in 1995, he continues to surprise everyone with his racing skills, and wins a German Grand Prix, and another World Championship title. Michael has always liked challenges, and this is the reason he opted to drive for Ferrari from his next race onwards, as this team had been craving for the World Championship title for 15 years, and he accepts it as a challenge to get this team its royalty back. Although the car is nothing compared to other teams' cars in the race, when Michael drives himself, he realizes that he and his team are at a disadvantage from a championship perspective, so he spends most of his time working on his car and gives suggestions as well to improve its performance. During his second season with Ferrari, in 1997, he is fully prepared to win the championship once again, and the race reaches the final round when, all of a sudden, his car collides with a competitor's car, and he goes on blaming him for the incident. He receives harsh comments from the public and media, which affects his psychological well-being. The regret of being disqualified from the championship is just about to eat him up, so he decides to go on a family vacation to a hill station to escape from the pressure and comments of the media. The following year, Michael is fully determined to make his team's car reach the level of its biggest competitor, which is McLaren. Its car and equipment are fundamentally so advanced that even after enormous efforts and dedication, Michael and his team can barely make their car a match for McLaren's. Mika Hakkinen is the driver for McLaren this year, who is known for his exceptional driving, even in challenging conditions. During an important race, Mika's car crashes at the beginning, giving Michael a chance to win this race and score the 3 crucial points his team is lacking behind McLaren in this championship. Despite the wet conditions, his acceleration is like on a dry track. He drives his car with such speed and perfection even in this condition. It is just a scene of exquisite beauty to watch him drive like this, and he is about to win the race when all of a sudden, his car gets crashed into one of his opponent's cars and thus he is declared out of the race, losing the only chance that he and his team got to catch up with McLaren this year. Even in his 3rd season with Ferrari, he cannot get them the championship title for which they hired him, which leads to a flood of questions and comments from the media. This is Michael's 4th season with Ferrari, and he is determined to win the championship at any cost. However, luck does not work in his favor as he encounters an accident just after 4 races, and the accident becomes so severe that he is hospitalized and cannot continue to compete this year. Michael misses out on another championship by another year and season, which makes him feel heartbroken because he believes he is unable to deliver what is expected of him. After the beginning of the Formula One World Championship in 2000, Michael is forced to face harsh media comments directed towards his racing skills and driving techniques. It starts to look like Michael isn't the right driver for Ferrari, as even after 4 seasons, he has not delivered what he promised the team. Michael performs well during the whole tournament and gives Häkkinen a tough competition, and in doing so, they reach the final race for the championship. There has been a lot of tension and pressure building inside Michael's mind since the start of this season, but despite this, he clears his mind and starts the race. After an intense cut and close chase race between him and Häkkinen, he finally wins the race and delivers the title of world champion to Team Ferrari. The team has finally won the championship after waiting for 20 years, and they give full credit to Michael's tireless efforts to make this team a champion. After this win, he feels relieved of the pressure and sense of responsibility that he has been carrying on his shoulders for the past 4 years since joining this team. He drives in every race after this win with all his heart and passion, and not with any obligation to deliver anything to anyone, and this is why after his first win for Team Ferrari, he became unstoppable. This led Michael and Team Ferrari to win the World Championship title consecutively from 2000 to 2004 without giving even the slightest chance to their opponents, as if they together are undefeatable. As he reaches the top of his career and witnesses what he had already experienced, he decides to retire from racing in 2006. After retirement, he spends a lot of time with his family and close ones and invests his passion in many other activities such as skydiving and skiing, but he misses his racing career. He realizes that nothing can give him the satisfaction of racing his car on a racetrack. So, he decides to make a comeback in his racing career in 2010, this time from Team Mercedes. A few years after his comeback, in 2013, Michael goes skiing with his family and encounters a serious accident in which the snow slides and he falls so hard to the ground that he hits a solid rock with his bare head. He suffers from an injury on his head affecting his brain very deeply, and the situation becomes so critical that he is put in a medically induced coma. He still rests in a coma in his home, where his family and close ones take care of him and do their best to heal him as fast as possible. That's it from the movie Schumacher. If you enjoyed it, consider subscribing. Let me know what you thought of this inspirational story, and make sure to check out this next one.